Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Amawam Bakar, back with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal HaKodash. And as always, we got to give double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. And, salutations to the Archim out there, the hopeful elect pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And also to the great multitude destined for salvation that believe in this thing of ours, man. Which ultimately is the truth. Alright. So I want to do this quick lesson, impromptu. Just going into Esau, Edom, the kingdom, especially the land of Babylon, aka America, man. It's going to be made an example, right? Because they've been supremely wicked on this earth, and they need to be taken out of the way, as the scripture says. And they're going to be exposed for the devils that they are. Right, that land Babylon, man, is nothing but that is their president calls other places shitholes. That's the biggest shithole on earth, man. It's just one big shithole, and whoever who lives there or anywhere else in the world for that matter doesn't see that is in denial. Alright, they spread their evils everywhere. Their people, they poison their own people, they subjugate their own people. Especially if you're a Jake, you're getting it 10 times worse or 100 times worse than everybody else. But they don't treat their own people any better. All they do is tell constant lies, invade other countries and all this stuff. They're just bullies, man. And that's really a soft term. They are terrorists. They are actually terrorists, man. That place is just always been a terrorist state, and they talk about other lands like that, man. But anyway, not talking, man. Let's just get into this, right? So Jeremiah 49:7 says, "Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?" Yeah, of course. I mean, look at the president right now, man. He's spouting so much BS. It's unbelievable. He's all over the place, man. Now he's pissing off all these other nations with his bullshit. They're backing out of things. They want to back him in things. They're turning that to be all by themselves. Right? The earth is turning against them, man. It says, verse 8 says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him." If great Gab and Esau, that name represents the nation of Edom, man. The so-called white people, man. Let's just keep it real. That's what it is. Alright? They are the wicked. They are the seed of the wicked, man. They show their ass anytime you're on the internet and it's anything to do with our people. They're there spouting their hatred against us. Right? They can't stay out of our business. They got to come in our business just to spew their hate because they're just evil, and that's what ever since Cain and Abel, man. Or you can even go back to the serpent, man, which was the spirit of Esau, man. Right? You can even go back that far, but really you want to talk about Cain slaughtering Abel, man, and then the reincarnation into Esau, man. That was his rebirth there, man. Always just wicked and always been our enemy. Right. Verse 9 says, "If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough." Because they don't stop, man. They got bottomless pockets, man. Just keep filling them up. They keep filling them up until there's nothing left to fill them up with, man. Their greed is unbelievable. Verse 10 says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbours, and he is not." It says, "Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, whose judgment was not to drink the cup, have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished, thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So their destruction has to come. Right? They're not going to get away with it. They're not going to slide off into the sunset, right? And just ha ha ha, yeah, we've done all this crime on the earth and all this wickedness, and yeah, and you know, we got away with it, man. That's not going to happen, man. The Lord is not going to allow that, right? And it says, look, for I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. Even the cat to chime in on that. And all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. Right? Perpetual waste, continuous destruction. I have heard a rumour, this is verse 14. I've heard a rumour from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. You know, that's going to happen, man. You know, that's already prophesied as well, man. All these nations are going to gather together in the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? And they're going to get destroyed, man. So there's no getting around that. You know, they're finished. So like I'm just trying to right. Verse 15 says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Yeah, because so that's happening, man. These other nations, like I said, these other nations are already pissed off with it now. They've had enough of their shit, you know. They've had enough of their thievery and their murder around the world, and then just doing what they want to do, and then pushing their wicked doctrines all over the earth, man. You know, I saw a poster today for like a theatre play, right? If those of you have seen the old movie Annie, about that girl that's in the home for girls. I think it's just girls. I can't remember if it's girls and boys, but anyway, it's a home and there's this evil woman that's running the home. I can't remember her name now. Miss Hannigan, I think her name is. Anyway, long story short, the Miss Hannigan that they got in this theatre is being played by one of them drag queens, man. So that tells you everything. You know, you got kids in the thing, and it's a man in drag, basically, you know, playing the role of a woman, man. Why can't they just get a woman to do that? Because you know why that would make it more sinister anyway, because women generally are meant to have more gentle and tender natures. So when a woman is cruel like that, it seems extra cruel. You almost expect cruelty from a man sometimes, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back into this, man. The point I'm making is that, you know, they're spreading their doctrines and their wine everywhere, man. Therefore they must be destroyed, man. Right, verse 16 says, thy terribleness has deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I'll bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. And that bringing them down, right, is shaming them as well, man. It's putting them to shame, right? And also, it's like, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Remember that word astonished, man? Remember in Deuteronomy the 20th chapter, it says that we would be in astonishment, meaning that we would be in embarrassment, man. People would look at us and be like, look at these people. You know, and they do that all the time, man. People will look at us in a weird way when we do the same things as everybody else. They look like when our youngsters are out there just doing what they're doing, being young and maybe making a little bit too much noise sometimes, playing out in the streets and, you know, running down like all the kids do. People look at us like, oh, animals, savages, monkeys, chimping out, all this shit they like to say about us. Well, we'll see, man. The Lord's got something for your ass, man. Right? Anyway. Let's finish this. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is chosen? Who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? And who is the shepherd that will stand before me? So like I missed the whole verse there. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So it's going to be completely desolate, right? Completely desolate. Let's just jump to 20. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate. With them, there's that word again, desolate, man. Anyway, let's just jump. So I'm going to go to. In fact, I want to go to. Do you know, maybe I'll read this and I'm going to go somewhere else after this in the Apocrypha, right? The second Ezra, the 16th chapter, it says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Alright? And that's all I'm going to read there. You know, woe means destruction, man. So that's destruction that is coming to Babylon, man. Right? And it's, I'll read a bit more. It says, a fire is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Meaning, there's no stopping this, man. A fire is sent among you, who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? So there's no stopping what's coming, man. Alright? There's no getting away with it. Where was I going? Maccabees. Right, let's read this. Right, it says this is First Maccabees 1:1. It says, and it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius the king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations. See, that's the trait of the Edomites, man. Just running through the earth and taking what you want. In so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exiled, and his heart was lifted up. You see, and that's Esau Edom, man, because you know, the earth has been quiet. All these other nations ain't said much to say against America, because they fear it. Sanction this, sanction that, and when that don't work, oh, we'll have to go in and start teaching you how we wage our wars, man. You know, this violence is always the next thing with them, and they use it through, and they do it through propaganda and lies. And he gathered a mighty strong host, which is an army, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him, meaning that they became, you know, they were given, handing over their goods, man. You know what I mean? Just saying, look, man, this guy's in charge now, we're going to have to hand over. And that's what these countries are doing right now to Babylon, man. And after after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. And the Lord put something on him, man. He had to take his ass out. He had his time. And that's prophetic, man, because it's just the same way that he had his time. Edom is going to have their time. The scripture says the Lord has appointed these bounds that he cannot pass, man, meaning that he only has a certain time to rule. I can't remember where it is exactly, but I'm just paraphrasing it. He only has a certain time to rule on this earth, man, until he's going to get taken out of the way. It says, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honourable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, right? So they made themselves kings, like Babylon likes to do, just proclaims rulership, right? So did their sons after them, and they, handing down that rulership, man, that colonialism. That's the traits of these demons, man. Many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So they brought forth all the wickedness on this earth, man. Right? They brought forth a lot of wickedness on this earth, man. So they need to be shown up, right? I'm going to get just a couple more, man. I said it's going to be a quick one, so it's going to be a quick one. Let's go to Revelation, man. 17th chapter. And start from where it says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, come unto me, come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? And that whore is talking about Babylon. That many waters is all the other nations and the peoples of those nations, man. Alright? Because they're sitting on, that's basically above everyone. Right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right? So, they've been spreading all their wicked doctrines about the earth, as we already know what that means, forcing these other nations to be wicked as them. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Regarding the NATO and the EU, those leading countries. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications. So that's that cup of wickedness that they've been spreading around, that doctrine, that indoctrinating the earth with their wickedness, man. Right? And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Alright. And let's go to the next chapter. It's Revelation 18:1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath, and of her fornication. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All the nations except for the true nation of Israel, right, have partaken. That's what they're best at doing, man. Poisoning, man. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double according to her works in the cup which she had filled to her double." So double the punishment and more. How much hath she glorified herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her. That's crazy. I mean, so much torment and sorrow give her. That ain't nice. And it's well deserved. For she hath said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who judgeth her. Right? So, you know, and it says in 1 hour, man. Imagine that you built up this, in this short time you built up such a kingdom. It's a wicked kingdom, but you built up a lot of power in this time, which is given to you, by the way. And in 1 hour it is snatched out of the palms of your hands, man. Just like that. Yeah, these Babylonians, man, these so-called Edomites, not so-called, these so-called white people, these Edomites are going to be astounded in that day, man. Alright, the shock to the system that they're going to have when that destruction comes, man. And it's well deserved, man. And this is all to show they have to be made an example, man. You know, they have to be made so like an example, because you know they can't just go out, you know, quietly. They have to go out with a big bang. They have to be brought down, right, in such a way that people are going to remember it forever, even though they're going to fly away to dream. The destruction of them are going to be, it's going to be crazy, man. You know, I might do another one on this. I think I might have to get more deep into this, but let me get one more precept before I close this one out. This is Amos 9:8. Says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon a sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord." Because the scripture says 2/3 shall be cut off therein and die, man. So 2/3 of our people in Babylon, aka America, are going to be destroyed, along with the rest of the wicked of that sinful nation, man. He says, "I will destroy off the face of the earth, man." You know, and I'm going to leave it there, man. You know, troubled times are coming, but Lord willing, you know, tomorrow I can do another part 2 to this, man. You know, I feel like I need to, through the Spirit. You know, as this one was just a quick impromptu one. Anyway, Lord willing, is edifying. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Dash. Yeah, man, and Wa Abad Babal, I haven't said that in a while. And Kwam Yasharala, man. Wa Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, man. Shalom. Oh, Salakia, I should just finish by saying, you know, Wa Abad Babal means destruction, you know, to Babylon, man. Alright? And obviously, if you don't know, Kwam Yasharala means rise up, Israel, man. Shalom.